It's so prideful being from the Bay Area. You see people that have pulled up their bootstraps and made it happen. People that have come from nothing. There are still people that are philanthropists, humanitarians, people that are just do-gooders. They don't want anything, they don't need anything. They just like to give back and see other people thrive and flourish. I have seen more of that here. That's impactful. That is groundbreaking.
San Francisco is a city that has always embraced change. As a center of innovation and progress, this community has seen the future and has run towards it. Change has also meant unintended consequences for this city in the form of inequity, displacement, and homelessness. And that's where organizations like Young Community Developers have tried to stem the tide, provide better outcomes, and offer hope.
You do not know how often I get stopped in the halls of City Hall or just at the grocery store or the gas station and someone sees this YCD pin and the first thing they say is, YCD still around? They gave me my first job. And then I begin to dialogue with these individuals who are now foremans, running their own companies, working at tech companies, working for healthcare providers. And that's what makes me smile and continues to fuel and drive me to do this work because of the generationalness behind it.
To oversee the array of services that YCD provides, you have to constantly be in motion. And DJ Brookter, who runs YCD, is ideally suited for this role, crisscrossing the city, engaging with community, and pursuing the best outcomes with the same relentless energy he displayed as a Division I linebacker at Utah State.
He makes it happen. He's there, he's everywhere. He moves a lot. He's like a shadow thing going, but he's present and he knows, what's going on. He's always in the loop, always in the know of what's happening, which lets me know that he's invested. He believes in the work. He believes in the mission.
He has a vision, and he has a vision that we want to grow generational wealth, that we want to bring resources and invest in the community so that they have a higher level of self-sufficiency and have that economic mobility.
DJ is the consummate professional. He's been there. People don't always like that you're not born and raised here and in a leadership position, and he takes that, he understands that, but he's still committed to investing in community. He takes the hard blows, the punches, and keeps standing up for what's right. And so I appreciate that, his professionalism, his commitment, his dedication to the work, and to be able to do it with a smile.
Young Community Developers was founded in 1973 by a group of young people who went down to City Hall and demanded that they receive resources to create programs to get themselves trained to be viable candidates for jobs here in San Francisco. We have three main pillars as an organization. So workforce development, which is why the organization was founded. We provide programs that get men and women into the building and trades, gives them all the soft skills and the hard skills that they need to get into our unions here in San Francisco. We provide educational services, starting as early as middle school, getting middle schoolers prepared for high schoolers prepared for college, and then getting them through college and back to San Francisco so we can get them in the workforce development pipeline. And then we also build affordable housing here in San Francisco, which is something that's been very new for us as an organization. But we were able, about 7 years ago, to build 60 units of 100% affordable housing for folks in our community.
It should come as no surprise that the scope of YCD's reach is part of a collaborative effort between several entities, chief among them being the Dream Keeper Initiative, or DKI. Dr. Sai Letatufu Birch not only oversees the day-to-day operations for DKI, but she also knows all too well about the power of YCD programs and their ability to change lives.
At the establishment of the Dreamkeeper Initiative, some of the priorities included economic development, education development and enrichment, arts and culture. And so when I think about the partnerships of organizations such as Young Community Developers, they're doing the work in the areas that community identified that was a priority for them. They're doing a lot of work around workforce development and ensuring folks have equitable access to economic development pathways, as well as ensuring that the basic needs of the families that they serve are met.
We wanted to make an impact here in San Francisco and do something just to support Black programs, just to support opportunities for Black people here in San Francisco. And working with the Human Rights Commission and under Director Davis, who really worked hard to come up with what should we call this work and this level of resources, this level of investment that's going into the Black community, and came up with the Dreamkeeper Initiative.
In many ways, DKI is like a foundation upon which YCD and other programs are built, creating a collective institution that realizes generational change. And like any institution, there was an architect that envisioned it and was essential in making it happen. That architect was Dr. Cheryl Davis.
We want to reach out to community. We want to be intentional about talking to folks who've been here, people who are new, but really understanding the experience that Black people have in San Francisco, even still today. What I appreciate and respect about YCD is that they are still very connected to community. I think they are a model of what we want to see happen. Culturally affirming spaces in terms of places where people can go when they're just like, I don't know what to do. And if they can't do it, they're going to connect them with the person that can.
If you weren't in a good situation and you needed help, these are the places that you go to get help, even if you don't know what that help is. And organizations like Young Community Developers, they are an important part of delivering for the community. They are our partners in the efforts and the work that we do.
Ask anyone living in a major city what the biggest problem facing their community is, and you will likely get the same response: homelessness. Ask the same people what the solution is to fix this problem, and you will likely get a variety of answers. There is no easy solution for this crisis. Though San Francisco, like other cities around the world, has had its challenges in finding meaningful ways to stem the tide of the unhoused, programs like YCD are attacking the problem on several levels, including not only providing homes for those that need them, but also offering assistance to people that may otherwise become unhoused.
My name is Diwali Ramkalawan, and I'm the Chief of Programs here at Young Community Developers. And I originally came in as the Director of Housing and recently transitioned to this new position. I started off as one person trying to really identify what our strategy was to build out our arm as housing developers in the communities. Once COVID hit, we started to bring in a team of care coordinators to provide rental assistance. So kind of all this has evolved into what is now Young Community Developers Housing Department, and we're really in a growth phase, and we have about 14 people on our team and about 7 development projects in the pipeline, and we're giving out about $1 million in rental assistance a year.
I work with folks, specifically more folks that have had justice involvement and are experiencing some sort of housing instability, and work with them to find housing here in San Francisco and get some resources to the city and make sure that they can maintain their independence.
We can see that we're helping people become stable. We're finding out a lot about their struggles and what they're going through, and to just be able to provide a home is really important, and just stabilizing their home too.
We've consistently made adjustments in our housing policies and our educational policies in ways that really focus on equity, so that we can achieve goals of helping those who are most in need, not based on the data of the population, but on the data of what is happening with the challenges that exist.
Logically, any homelessness solution must begin with providing homes for those that are affected and keeping those in homes from living on the streets. But YCD is going a step further, addressing the systemic issues that cause homelessness, namely unemployability due to lack of job training, by putting programs in place to prepare and place clients in meaningful employment.
1715 Yosemite is what we coined as our headquarters. That building has been here since the 70s. It is our central services hub that serves as the point of entry for all things young community developers. So when individuals come in, intake form is given and gone through with an education employment specialist. We have our neighborhood job center, which takes place there, which basically means anybody in the city and county of San Francisco looking to gain employment and needs assistance, they can walk through those doors. And that's what it generally is during the day. And then in the evening, we kind of turn it into more of a youth center, where our MAIP kids come to. Those young people are between the ages of 14 and 16, and they come and receive assistance with homework. But again, it's all geared and related towards workforce development services.
This job, I sleep good at night knowing that I have done something for somebody that has made a real impact on their life, not something just a monetary, fix or something. It gives them just hope. I have never heard of so many incentives for people to change their lives at the drop of a dime, and we help facilitate that. We literally hand walk you through that change.
Another important but sometimes overlooked systemic issue is reentry for those who have been incarcerated. A key pillar of YCD's strategy is providing assistance to those who have lost their way and are seeking guidance as they navigate their return to the outside world.
It's individuals like Valentina Cedeno that help us as an organization thrive. She has been and is the glue as it pertains to our reentry services population that we work with, which has been deemed the hardest, most tough to serve, kind of across the nation, individuals that have been involved with the justice system. And you can just think of the amount of barriers they have to go through just to gain employment, to receive housing, to even begin to think about getting and being educated.
YCD is a resource, and so I think that's what we're meant to be, is a support to the community in whichever capacity, in any one of our pillars or in the work we do. We're here to provide support in any way that our community needs.
Perhaps the biggest systemic issue in breaking the cycle of poverty is that of education. Through its 100% college prep program, YCD provides students and their families with a fresh perspective on the future, offering up hope and a new definition of what success looks like.
My name is Jermaine Fogum. I am from Patrol Hill in San Francisco, California, and I go to San Francisco State University. My high school experience working with 100% college prep was being a participant in their programs, Jumpstart to College and Step to College. In those programs, they assisted me with my development throughout high school to become a college student. One of the key takeaways for me is self-determination and the ability to continue perseverance through a rough time. 100% college prep definitely is that shoulder to lean on when you need help beyond academic needs.
100% college prep was started via the Bayview Association for Youth in the southeast part of San Francisco, and we had a conversation with their then executive director, Miss Diane Gray, who was absolutely phenomenal, had a vision alongside her cousin to say, hey, there's young people in our community that we see that are struggling in high school with what they need in order to get themselves prepared to go to college. And out of that, 100% college prep was formed.
I had my first job as a summer tutor working for young community developers when I graduated from college, and so they certainly contributed to my professional journey, and still to this day, I think that organization and the leadership of part of that organization are folks who I look to as mentors and as colleagues alike.
Diane Gray is like my grandmother that I never had. She definitely supports me financially and emotionally through my rough times in college and while I was in high school.
A lot of young people, unfortunately, in community weren't necessarily exposed to higher education in a way that 100% has had the ability to provide. And so it's just miraculous what Diane and her team have been able to do over the years. And so many people have graduated from college and are back in community work and are back in their professional fields. And all of them know is because of the tireless work provided by Diane, her team, at 100% college prep.
These individuals, the amount of passion that they have, not just for our community members in the programs, but those that have been affected by the justice system, is just, it's insurmountable. I really try to make sure that internally we have all the resources that our team members need in order to provide these services. Because the phone calls that they get in the middle of the night, some of the trauma that our community is always constantly facing, but these are the individuals that keep the engine running. But the Dr. Size, the Dr. Cheryl Davises, Mayor Breed, Supervisor Walton, we're responsible for being stewards of our community. I want to make sure generations behind me in this community have the opportunity to succeed. Every single day, I get to make impact with the time that I have here on this earth.